What is going on, guys? Houndish here, and today we've got some Warmind news stuff to talk about. So I want to talk about some mystery weapons, items, and potential secrets, the upcoming update for the end of May and some stuff that we're going to be seeing, some possible exotic armor rework previews. We've got various reward fixes and insights from Bungie, new items for the Iron Banner, and a bunch of other stuff, so let's jump straight into it. So first up, as we go into the reset today, it's worth bearing in mind that if you're using things like Destiny Item Manager or Ishtar Commander, some of their functionality is going to be a little bit limited. So Bungie Help tweeted, Item Equip is temporarily disabled in the official Destiny companion and third-party applications. Players may still equip items in-game. Please stay tuned for more details on when Item Equip will be re-enabled. So I believe you can still move things around using those apps. However, you can't set up your loadouts or equip items onto an actual character. Now, Bungie didn't explain this, but I believe this is to do with a pretty big exploit regarding power level. I can't claim to know exactly how it works, but players were essentially infusing gear onto lower level characters from different characters, creating duplicates and things like that, and also using a glitch where you could unequip gear from a character to where the slot was actually empty. It works something like that, and one way or another, players were actually getting like 380 powerful drops almost immediately on characters which were, like 300. Some of them hadn't even hit the base character level of 30 yet. So I think that was a pretty significant exploit. A few people had started to figure it out. Bungie currently have that locked down. I also heard rumors that some accounts have actually been banned for this, so my recommendation if this comes up again or anything like this is to avoid it. Moving on though, DMG was talking with some folks on Reddit about the update coming at the end of May, and this is where they'll actually improve some of the power level drops for heroic strikes. DMG said the stars aligned to where we have the next update on the roadmap plotted for the end of the month, and so they're trying to get the change for heroic strikes into that update. But another significant element of that update would be the exotic armor sandbox changes. And somebody on Reddit said, I was hoping for some exotic armor change teasers. DMG responded and said soon. So of course, before the May update, if you remember, we did get a bunch of video clips showing off exotic weapons and the things that it could do once they'd been reworked. So we don't know whether we'll see video clips for armor pieces as well. If we do though, that would suggest that some of these reworks are actually going to be fairly significant. It would be pretty weird kind of putting a video out showing a clip of an exotic armor piece if what it was doing wasn't very kind of spectacular or obvious even. So if that's what we're going to be seeing, then this could be some pretty significant stuff. Of course, we may just get smaller updates in the blogs and things like that. But we should also note exotic armor sandbox changes will be coming on May 29th. This will be a kind of staggered update though, so more of them will arrive in an update in July. So there will be two separate updates for exotic armor sandbox changes. No confirmation of exotic armor masterworks just yet, but I'd certainly love to see those. Of course, in July, we also get this new seasonal summer event called the Solstice of Heroes. We'll have to wait and see exactly what that'll be about. Let's do some quick fire bits of confirmation and information. So somebody said, Bungie, please buff sword ammo capacity in PvE. And Cosmo said, for real, swords are awesome, and they will be more awesome with more ammo. I'll pass along your requests. And I think all of us can pretty much agree with that, especially seeing the new exotic Worldline sword. What do you get now? You can carry like 20 rounds or something like that. Of course, back in the day, we had like 60 odd or more rounds once we had artifacts, I believe it was. So I think all of the swords need a bit of love. I'd personally like to see a buff for the Worldline, but that's just me. Next though, DMG gives some confirmation about clan engrams. So it says personal clan XP milestones grant powerful engrams, where other clan engrams for Crucible, Nightfall, Trials, and the Raid will provide rewards up to 340 power. So I'd had some questions about that as well, because folks had heard Bungie are nerfing the clan engrams. Basically, the clan XP one, the one from the milestone, that works like every other milestone. So you will get higher level gear. It's just those activity specific engrams for clans that will drop rewards at 340. Somebody made a bunch of suggestions for changes to the escalation protocol. Daniel from Bungie responded, pretty unlikely any changes are going to be made to the escalation protocol rewards anytime soon. I don't want to lead you on there. I do want to understand what your goals with this suggestion is though, so I can make stuff better in the future. So just an interesting confirmation that they're not talking about things like the loot from escalation protocol at this current time. They have, however, said that they're forwarding feedback about getting 9-player fire teams into one lobby, creating matchmaking, things like that, which I definitely think needs work as well. Bungie also said that they wanted to work on a few things, including smoothing out the transition into the endgame once the campaign is over. They want to try and avoid situations where players run into brick walls as far as progression goes. They recognize that once milestones are complete, there aren't enough rewards to chase. Exotic masterworks and seasonal ranks help this problem a little bit, it, but these definitely aren't enough, and that's why they're looking at things like weapon randomization and records. We do need more progression in the game, but I also think we need that bit of randomization like they say with weapons. The possibility to be rewarded with something unique, interesting, and useful at any time, I think, is a big thing for Destiny, and it's just not been there for D2. They also want to improve things like endgame progression tiers, and making sure the quality of rewards match and scale to the difficulty of the activity. And they talk about the raid lair, which I 100% agree, so I just wanted to round up those few things. Next though, let's talk about Iron Banner briefly. So of course we know most of the details, but somebody asked, does playing Iron Banner count towards Valor? And DMG said, no, Valor is tied to Quick Play, Rumble, Doubles, and Mayhem. We'll be watching feedback roll in over the week and watching the numbers. So just bear in mind, if you are playing the Iron Banner, you won't actually be progressing with any of your PvP rankings. I personally think that this is a mistake. I think that Valor should be active inside of the Iron Banner. You know, you're playing Crucible, you can earn Crucible tokens, you can complete Crucible challenges in the Iron Banner. To me, it would just feel that bit more rewarding and worth my time if I was also progressing with that Valor quick play rank. I think as well, where you may have like a lot of competitive people focusing on all of their comp stuff, when Iron Banner comes around, it would probably be nice for them to also get some of the Valor stuff done if they want to pick up any of the random rewards and stuff like that. I personally think it would just make Iron Banner feel that bit more valuable and rewarding while you're playing. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about that, and it sounds like Bungie maybe will consider it for the future. DMG also confirmed that progression for the Iron Banner will be earned throughout the season and will not be tied to a single event. So Bungie showed us the kind of loot table or the inventory that Saladin has, and all of the items here are earned for different ranks, so potentially some of them will require Iron Banner rank 30 or 50 maybe. We should just point out that that is for the entirety of Season 3, so you'll still be able to work on that stuff in August, so there is plenty of time for now. Also on the subject of Crucible rankings and things like that, a few people have expressed frustration at losing win streaks by being put into games which are currently in progress and losing, and I could totally relate to that. Kevin Yanis did say that the team does not like this and we're working on a fix, so it sounds like Bungie absolutely intend to get rid of that issue where you join a game and then actually lose your streak when you weren't there at the beginning of the game when it actually started to get lost, you know? So I think that's definitely positive. Now let's look at a few bits of loot though. So there is actually an exotic emote called Salute the Lords. Beneath the branches of the Iron Tree, we reminisce and sing dirges for the lost Lady Scorry. So they have actually brought an Iron Banner emote into the game, and that's certainly pretty interesting. I did see that one of the bundles from Eververse was like an Iron Banner one, and it said that it could grant you an Iron Banner emote. So I don't know if this will be earnable through gameplay or if it's purely an Eververse thing, but it's certainly interesting. Something kind of curious right here. So there is a launcher called the Pit Launcher. It actually has a green thumbnail though. This is pretty unusual. If you look at the perks, we can see that it's aggressive frame. You've got all of the barrel options. It's high explosive ordnance as well as high velocity rounds, and then you have Rampage. So Rampage on a rocket launcher is pretty unusual. Definitely doesn't strike me as a common item, this one. So it looks like maybe they just messed up the thumbnail and it's green. Maybe it could be a quest item or something like that, but I'm thinking personally it's probably just a mistake on Bungie's end. On the subject of secrets though, of course, people are still looking for things like the Black Spindle in particular, hunting down different possibilities. We've now got players talking about, you know, strikes on Titan, different things going on there. Players reporting that they found stuff on Io, all over Mars. The Raid Secrets Reddit is absolutely lit right now with various different stuff. It's really cool to see players actually wanting to hunt stuff down and being excited to find secrets in the game. Of course, when it comes to Black Spindle, we're simply going to have to wait and see how it's acquired or if it's time gated or anything like that. I personally believe it is time gated. There are some other random questionable items as well. I showed off the Iris Pulsator Shell recently. I personally think this is one of the coolest looking ghosts in the game. We currently don't have a source for where this thing actually comes from, so it'll be interesting to find out about that as well. It could be strike specific loot or something like that. Of course, the remaining strike that we haven't seen any loot for yet would be the Will of the Thousands. That really could be anything, we'll have to find out. Just a random interesting clip here as well. My pal on Twitter, Barmy Owl, sent me a clip, and he's shooting in this area inside of Mind Lab, I believe it is, on Mars. And just listen to this sound. So you can see he shoots the weapon, and then you've got this kind of weird follow-up echo type thing, almost like a bang. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the secret puzzle in Golgoroth's cellar in the Kingsfall raid, where you'd stand on the plates and then you'd have like a big slam if you got it right. So this is kind of curious, you know, is there potentially a secret here? Is that sound significant in any way? It's certainly hard to tell. Definitely not a typical kind of reverb sound that you'd hear from a weapon firing. It's possible that it could be a bug, maybe in this sort of audio production. It could be that making sound in this particular area is just resulting in a very loud echo for some reason. Or like I said, it could indeed be a secret and be significant in some way. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think. But something I wanted to show you guys really quickly is by Plain Ben on Twitter. So Plain Ben is a 2D and 3D artist. They've done some pretty cool stuff in the past. Right here though, they kind of like photo mashed a bunch of different concept art and pieces of art from Destiny for enemies into Guardian armor essentially. So we have this fallen stuff right here. And like I said, this is actually made up of different elements, existing pieces of artwork and 3D models made by Bungie. They also did a bunch of Cabal ones right here as well. You can see the Warlock is the Scion, the Titan is a Gladiator, and then you've got the Hunter right there. I actually think the Hunter stuff looks really, really cool. Bungie, just saying. Personally, I think this stuff looks pretty exciting. I think a lot of players would be pretty thrilled to see enemy-themed gear as cool as this. To me, when you complete raids, when you complete the hardest stuff in the game, this is the kind of stuff that I personally would want to wear. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about that. I'll link Plain Ben's Twitter account below. He posted these images up there. Really, really cool stuff. So guys, that is going to summarize this video anyway. A bunch of stuff to take a look at as always. I hope you have enjoyed the video as always. If you have, a like is very much appreciated below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe. I cover absolutely everything right here. For now though, I appreciate you watching as always guys. I'll keep you posted with all of the weekly reset stuff, and I will catch you very soon.